change has to start with us, and somehow we've got to make the other side of town work with us. We've got to make our communities what they need to be, and our young people, I'm not picking on you, but y'all gotta step up to the plate. You've got to step up to the plate. You are capable of being very, very smart people. You are capable of being those doctors and lawyers. You are capable of running your own business. That's what, one of the things in the position I'm in, really, one of the things that really hurt, one of the programs we have with some of the most money in it, you know, is for business and industry. And I sit up there and I'm signing off on 6 million, 3 million, 2 million, but who is it going to? Not one so far. And when I got a report on where we are with it, we're approaching $80 million since October 1st, but not one dime to a black business. Not one. You know, and I know as a young person, you're thinking good time, but hey, don't let life pass you by having a good time. You can enjoy it, but be serious, you know. And there are jobs in agriculture. There's a program, the 1890 Scholars Program, and they're connected with every 1890 land grant institution. And let me tell you what that is. That's the black land grant institutions, and they're about 17 in Tuskegee. You can actually get a scholarship, and Fort Valley State is the land grant in Georgia, the 1890. The 1862 is the white land grant, that's the University of Georgia. You can get a scholarship, and every summer, you work at one of those agencies while you are in school. And when you get out, it's an automatic job. Agencies like Natural Resource and Conservation Service, that's NRCS. Farm Service Agency, that's the Old Farmers Home Administration. Rural Development, those are the major three, but there are so many other jobs, so many, just in rural development nationwide, there are over 6,000 employees, but you go up there to Washington, to the Department of Agriculture, it's on both sides of the street. In rural development, there are 129 employees, and guess how many of them are people of color? Anybody want to take a guess? That's in Georgia. I got there 129 in my agency. How many? 2. It's more than 2. A little more than 20. There are less than 20 of us. We have 6 area offices in the state and sub-area offices. And when I look at who's coming up the line in the agency, there are not many of us. Because we think agriculture is a bad word. We think it's working in the fields. Some of the best paying jobs you ever want to have. Okay? I won't keep at you with that kind of stuff. But just know that there's another point I want to make though. You know, coming out of slavery, black folks used to help each other.
All right.
That's how they built the schools that we have. You know, that's how they bought the land that we have, that we've about lost all of it. You know, at our peak we had over 15 million acres, and as black people we have less than 2 million acres of farmland left. And we will sell it for nothing. For nothing. You know, I was helping a family here recently, 515 acres of land, never had a drop of debt on it since the grandfather bought it years ago, and he died in 1974. And 2 cousins up in the north, guess what they decided? They tried to force a sale of every acre of it. And one of their aunts had spent all of her life on the land. She was 93 years old when she died, and she died after those for sale signs. Went up out there on that farm, auction sign, went up on the farm. She was in the hospital the next month, she was dead. That was January, she was dead by October. But we kept working at it. And we found some honest lawyers, they were white. I wish I could say that about all lawyers, especially black lawyers, but they will nickel and dime you to death. I don't have, I'm sorry, I don't have too good an opinion of most lawyers. But anyway, that land has been saved, you know. But they were trying to force a sale of all of it. They'll eventually get 62 acres of the 515, and guess what? They have a white man already lined up to buy it. And it's the land on the creek, which is what he wanted. But you can, what I want to say to you, you can do good, and y'all gonna be smart. You're gonna go on and get good jobs, but reach back and help somebody.
Amen.
That's what we were taught. That's what our folk did. You know, it looks like the better we do, the more free we are, the more divided we become. You know, it looks like we don't care about each other anymore. You know, that's why our kids can just, you know, y'all know what happened in the day. You did something wrong, everybody in the community got you. You know, but that doesn't happen anymore. And we have to get back to that. If we're gonna rebuild our communities, if we're gonna deal with all of the problems we have in our communities, it will take all of us working together to solve them. We can't turn our backs. And you never know who you're helping. You could be helping the second black president of the United States, you know? Now, I need to tell you a little bit about rural development. There are at least 40 programs at rural development, but I'll just talk to you briefly about a couple of them. The main one is the housing program. We have more money for single-family housing, direct loans, and that's loans from the agency, than we've ever had in the history of the program. But we're having trouble getting that money out the door, and guess why? Credit issues. They had to send me extra help from Washington to try to help because of the stimulus money. See, we have more money for direct loans for the low, very low income and moderate income individuals. And guess what? Those loans is 100% loan. You can buy the land and build the house. 100% loans. No private mortgage insurance. Those loans are directly from USDA. And folks will let a little cell phone and other stuff you don't even need, keeping you from being able to acquire an asset that you really need, which is a home. We've got to be more careful about our credit. I was talking with a young lady who's actually a relative in a major position, and she she was letting the hospital was getting ready to garnish her check, and she works for the city. And I said, do you understand that goes on your credit? See, with the people put in the hospital, counting on, you know, it was after she had had a child. I said, you could have told them I can pay $25 a month, and they would have accepted that. But she didn't make that step, so now here they were getting ready to start taking it from her pay. And that goes on her credit. And I said, you want a house one day? You'll never be able to get a house. Now, she does some foolish stuff with her money. I won't go into some of the foolish stuff. But I want to say that to us. And young people, you know, that's one of the things I remember from my father. He used to talk to us about business and credit. And what he said to us, you need to always keep a good credit rating. You may not have any money, but you can always get some. And we need to keep that in mind.